Welcome back to another week of the Dark but Legal podcast. I have a special guest, Dylan Doiga. He's been on. This is like his 15,000th time being on the podcast.
It's a perk of being in the house.
Dude, what you think of 2025 so far?
It's just started. I was kind of not here for the first few days of 2025. I was out with the wife on vacation, but...
yeah, both of us. No, I wasn't on the vacation with your wife.
I would hope not, because there were only 2 people in our room that I remember.
No, we both took 2 weeks off work. I feel
Was it really 2 weeks off, though? You had Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve, Christmas Day. I mean, there was like basically 4 holidays crammed into 10 days.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it really wasn't 2 weeks off.
So it was really like
the holidays in between.
It was like 1 full week of work days.
Yeah. How's it feel to be back? You happy to be back?
Man, it has been nonstop, like from sun up to sundown.
Perks of being a sales rep, huh?
Pretty much, because, you know, I get here before the sun comes up.
Yeah.
And it's all day. There's always something to do.
Dude, we've been playing a lot of Call of Duty at night, too.
That's great, though. I mean, our wives may not think so, but it's great.
No, and then it's cool. You know, we stream on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturday nights, so everybody who wants to hop in gets to enjoy the stream.
That's right. They need to get on Twitch and give us a follow.
Dude, what do you think about, so, you know, I was speaking to some people. What do you think about like a esports tournament, but in the window film industry?
That would be epic. Speaking of that, when we were at SEMA, they have an esports bar it's not a bar, but it's all gaming stations, and they host tournaments every day.
I think that's at the Luxor.
Something like that, yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
John was telling me about it.
I think that's at the Luxor. But yeah, I think that'd be pretty cool, like, because obviously we play Hardcore Search and Destroy, which me and my friend group, we've been playing that since
longer than some people have been alive.
Yeah, some of the younger ones, yeah, honestly. And that's just been our game mode. And I mean, a lot of people, they don't like it and everything, but that's the game mode that skill comes in. You get one life, it's hardcore, you know, that's it.
One shot, one kill.
Exactly. And that's it. And I think that's why we enjoy that. And me and my buddies have ran competitions before, like we've been in them and everything. It's just a fun thing. Like, it gets your adrenaline rushing.
Oh, it's super fun.
Especially when it's like 1v4 and you're like,
it's truly it's really a team-based game mode.
You got to work together.
Yes.
If you got 4 dudes running right side on a map or something, and it's you and your other buddy going on the left side, then you're
when you got idiots like us throwing random frags across the map.
No, but I think that'd be cool. Like, just to see how many people in the industry would want to maybe get together or link up. I mean, it could be tinters, it could be other, you know.
Oh, absolutely.
Manufacturers, whoever. I think it'd be cool.
Yeah, everybody.
You get your squad together, you join in, and we just see what happens. I mean, we could do some like.
There's a chance they might win. We don't win them all.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying we're the best in the world. I'm saying
we
we're
do
good.
have the most fun, though.
We do have the most fun, and that's what it's all about. But I will say, like, you know, if anybody watches this and is interested, shoot us a message or something. I mean, we could even do like a private lobby, run a couple games or whatever, and I mean, we could see how many people are interested. But
that'd be awesome. I'm 100% down for that.
I think that would be cool for 2025. Like,
get
especially
that skill-based matchmaking knocked down a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
Bring things back to my level some.
It's so funny because last night we was my buddy that lives in Arizona. He was the party leader, and you know, we was in some pretty good lobbies, and we was joking. We were like, "Man, we need Dylan to get on so we can get in some of his lobbies."
It is wild. I'll go in my lobbies. I'll get 20 or 30 kills and half as many deaths, but when I get in y'all's lobby, it's about a total reversal.
Oh, yeah.
And I dropped to about a 0.5 KD.
We're over there omni moving and shit out of it. It's so funny. No, but it's cool. Video games are, you know, they have been a big part of my life and everything. It's just an escape.
That's what helps your brain escape from day to day.
Yeah. Some people like fishing. Some people like hunting. Some people like cooking.
I
and
love
stuff
both of
or
those
whatever.
things, but I also love playing video games.
I mean, I've never been a hunter, fisher, nothing like that. Even living in Louisiana my whole life. Nope.
It's okay.
Really
I
enjoyed
didn't take my first hunting trip till after I was 18.
I've been hunting before. Don't get me wrong. I've been sitting in a deer stand before. But when I tell you I got the itch to just want to shoot something, I shot a round off and my buddy called me and he's like, man, you got one? No, dude, I shot a tree. I'm bored. Oh, you scared all the deer away. Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Well, sitting in a stand by yourself for 6 or 7 hours, it can get pretty boring.
Yeah, it's super boring. That's why I can't do nothing like that, man.
Especially on the days when you forget your Game Boy at the camp and you're stuck either playing a Sudoku puzzle that you leave in the deer stand or you just have to sit there.
You play the paper Sudoku? You got to write it in
Yeah.
yourself? Nah, see, I can only play the phone game where it tells me if I'm wrong.
Well, there was a time when that wasn't an option.
That's true.
Because I didn't get my first smartphone until I was 20, maybe 19 or 20. I always had either a slide up phone or a flip phone.
Oh, you're talking about smartphone, like your first actual smartphone was 20, but you've
Yeah.
had phones when you were like 13, 14.
Flip phone.
Yeah. That's like me. My first phone.
Different times. That was back.
Dude.
That was in the early 2000s.
My first phone was a Sony Ericsson, and I love that.
Was that the one with the speaker as
Yes.
a center button? I had
Yeah.
one of those.
So I had a Sony Ericsson, and then I begged my mom. Boost Mobile came out, and I begged my mom. Boost Mobile had a phone called an Oyster, and it was this. I kid you not, it was this big white phone, and I don't know why I even wanted it. It just looked cool to me, and I begged my mom, begged, like, Mom, I want this phone. I want this phone. I got that phone. Biggest piece of shit I ever had. And Boost Mobile service, worse. And that was around the time that they still had Singular Wireless before they even became AT&T. And so we went to the store, and that was whenever I got my first Razor. I got a Motorola Razor.
That was a
I
bang
love
up
that
phone.
thing. Oh, dude. I carried that thing everywhere. And then
That's
when
what I had
finally-
all through high school was a silver Razor.
I had a pink one. I had a pink Razor, and I love that thing. And then I want to say 7th grade, my 7th or 8th grade year, maybe six, I don't remember exactly when, but that was whenever 2007 was whenever the iPhone came out. And
Yeah, it was my first year of high school.
dude, all my buddies had one, and I was stuck with a BlackBerry. I had the BlackBerry with steel brick
I
breaker.
always wanted a BlackBerry.
Blackberries
and
were awesome.
Never have one.
The only thing I loved about my BlackBerry was playing brick breaker. I would always be in class just ding, ding, ding. Yep. And then my buddies are over here like, oh, dude, I got this iPhone that you could like fake drink beer out of. And I thought it was the coolest shit in the world.
I remember when I finally got my first iPod Touch in like maybe 10th or 11th grade.
Oh, yeah.
Having all the different apps where you could do the fake drinking the thing and the soundboards.
Yeah.
Oh, those were fun.
Those were the
Soundboard
times,
apps.
dude. Those were the days, bro. My first iPhone, so the thing about me is, and I was still like this until recent years, but I used to do a lot of trading. Like I love trading stuff. If I got something random that I just don't use anymore, I'm going to find something to trade for it. And that's how I got my first phone. I remember I had a couple things, and my very first iPhone was the iPhone 4. And that was when you could take the back glasses out and change them. And me and my buddy went into like a little business together when we was in high school.
Swapping colors.
And we would swap colors and stuff. And I remember my phone broke, and we had did the back of somebody's phone in school, and he wanted a Lamborghini back. So we did a white glass with red Lamborghini logo in it. And the guy never paid my friend. So he was like, oh, bro, you want a phone? And I was like, yeah, my phone broke. So I got that phone. Then I traded that phone for the iPhone 5C, which actually is still in my drawer.
Here, isn't it?
Yes. So matter of fact, give me 2 seconds. Watch. I'll show some
Go
throwback.
grab that thing. So I know you're not on the mic right now, but this is actually my first ever iPhone. I've been an Android guy for about just over 10 years. And when I came to work here, it was pretty, in inner office settings,
Yeah.
iPhone is the way to go.
It is. I mean, iPhone is just, so I've had Androids. I've had, all the technology that Androids come with. They're basically jailbroken phones. You ain't got to jailbreak it like you do an iPhone or anything. And they're cool pieces of technology, and they do have really good cameras and stuff. But it's the UI that just makes it so hard to get away from iPhone. It's so simple. And a lot of people are like, well, that's why iPhone sucks, because it is simple. And it's like,
I don't agree with that. I think that's what makes it great.
Yeah. No, that's what makes it. Anything that I can use that is super easy, I'm going to use it.
Yes.
And then having a MacBook, your phone talks to your MacBook. So anything that happens on my MacBook, it's already on my phone. So it's just, it's
and
such
I got
an
all
easy
of
thing.
them. I got the MacBook, the iPad, well, this isn't an Apple Watch, but the watch, it's all
I still can't
connected.
find my Apple Watch. Still gone.
I done looked through the truck twice. It ain't
Still
in
gone.
there.
Still gone. But back to the iPhone. So
Look at that thing.
Here's some throwbacks. iPhone 5C,
Look how tiny that
green
is.
color. I can't believe I still have
That's
these
half the
things.
size of my paw.
And then I think this was my iPhone 5. This one actually still works. It still charges. This was the first time that they did the Lightning. So so I don't remember if this is the 4 or 5, but this was whenever the Lightning.
But look at that big old
adapter.
headphone jack in there.
Oh, dude, yeah. 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. But they were so, like, we used to carry these things around. And then now we have these ginormous phones that barely fit in one hand. I mean, they're
Those Pro Max.
Yeah, they're basically two of these.
Well, it fits my hand.
Yeah, so it's just, it's crazy to think of, like, where we came to where we are now with technology. But I think it's a positive and a negative, because even me growing up, so the first app that I remember was obviously Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like 11 or 12 when Facebook came out. And my mom wouldn't let me have a Facebook account or nothing like that.
But
so
I was able to have MySpace.
I had a MySpace. MySpace was giant, but MySpace wasn't, I don't know why it scared our parents more, Facebook, than MySpace, because MySpace, dude, you could do whatever you wanted to on MySpace. That's where I found Club Penguin and all that stuff.
And everybody filling out surveys with all their personal information for everybody just to read.
And we were kids. We didn't care.
Nope.
We did not care.
Different
And that's how you
times.
knew who your true friends were. When you had the MySpace top 8 and you got on your friend's page and you was like number 6 one day and you said one thing to that person.
And you moved up into the top 5.
Or you got off the list.
Oh, even worse.
And then you were like, oh, all right, I'm going to show them, and it's like,
Why
I
did
kind of
we
miss
do
those
that?
days. I don't know, dude. That was ruthless. We were ruthless. But yes, so it was Facebook and MySpace. And then I remember my freshman year of high school, Snapchat came out. And Snapchat was, dude, like, people think it's bad now with how kind of secretive and cryptic. Dude, when it first came out, it was worse. It was way worse. Like, it didn't tell you that people screenshot your stuff. It didn't tell you when you got a notification or anything. Like, Snapchat was...
You either had a notification or you didn't.
Yeah, it was bad. It was real bad. And, like, I remember there was times where I felt so bad because, once again, we were kids, dude. And we grew up in an era where technology was getting way more advanced than it should have.
Yes.
As fast as it did. Because I remember...
Year after year, it was just advancing.
When I was growing up and we had VHS and everything, and we were going to DVD and like Blu-ray players and stuff were coming out, Sony won the game and beat, Xbox and Microsoft and stuff, because the PlayStation 2 not only played video games, but you can also watch Blu-ray discs.
PS3.
PS3, sorry. So I remember around Christmas time, my dad went and got a PS3 because it could watch movies and play video games. So it was like, what? That's a no-brainer. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you buy that piece of technology? But now I'm Xbox through and through, or PC. Play PC games. But technology is a scary thing. That's still to this day, it's the scariest thing.
Yeah.
And social media hasn't got any better. I mean, a lot of what I think the industry that we're in, and not just the industry that we're in, I know this podcast focuses mostly on, window tint, PPF, ceramic coating, detailing, all that stuff. But we also just, we bullshit a lot too. And when I say that, I'm saying social media as a whole, I think has kind of persuaded the look, especially during COVID, because nobody had anything to do.
There was nothing to do.
You were sitting
except
around,
play Warzone all day.
Play Warzone, or get on social media, because there was nothing else to do. Everything was Zoom meetings. I mean, even if you got a ticket and you had to go to court, you were going to
Zoom court.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I think that time period had such a big shift and impact on every industry. Of course, you're going to see, like, whatever industry you're in, like, say you're in tire sales. Of course, you're going to see, like, everything about tire sales. And you're going to have some type of complaint like, oh, look at all these new guys coming into this industry, just because they seen a bunch of stuff on Facebook.
And now there's a tire shop on every corner.
Exactly. So, I mean, I can see in the next 2 to 3 years there being a huge drop off of people just because they either like went head over heels thinking that this was going to be something huge for them, or social media is going to, it's going to go two ways. Either that's going to happen and there's going to be major fall offs, or social media is going to get so advanced that it's going to be so easy to run a business that literally I can teach my 4-year-old child to run a business.
Honestly, I think that's more of it's going to be a mixture of both things.
Yeah.
You're going to have the people that jumped in so fast just because technology allowed them to, but they don't know how to take the next step. They're not going to grow with the rest of social media.
That is
what's
true.
going on.
And there are great people in the industry. I know it's so split. And I'm not going to say it's a negative or a positive. I'm just going to say that I'm in the middle, but there's such a split in the industry of, it's kind of like the plotter and hand cut debate. That's those things. It's almost like just keep doing what you're doing. Like if your business is working, dude, like why do you care? I understand it's wanting to help somebody or wanting to show somebody a path, or maybe it's somebody that opened up shop right next to you and they got a plotter and they're spitting out, $99 tint jobs or whatever. There are things in this life that we just cannot control.
Nope, that's a fact.
You just can't control them. And I know it's very blunt, it's very honest, but there are things in this life you cannot control. And
like 2 weeks ago, I got on an airplane. We're heading to Orlando. We're probably 30 minutes from landing, and they come over the intercom. Hey, so we only put enough gas in the plane to make it to the next airport. So there's a big thunderstorm right on top of Orlando. So we're going to have to circle the Gulf for a few minutes and see if it passes. So, they do their loop, and about 10 minutes later, so we have to go to Jacksonville and gas up. So we go to Jacksonville and we land, and they're like, well, we're going to gas up and get right back on and go. So we're all just sitting in the plane, and about 15 minutes goes by, and boy, you know the look on that girl's face. She was not wanting to say what she had to say. She's like, I'm sorry, guys, but the pilot's timed out, and we have to wait on the next set of pilots to fly in, and they're about 3 hours out.
So they're like truckers. They time out. You got to just pull over.
Yeah. But the flight crew doesn't, because our flight crew was scheduled to stay in Orlando.
Yeah.
So they had to just wait it out.
Damn.
So we left New Orleans at 1:30 and we got to Orlando at midnight.
Could you imagine, so an 18-wheeler driver has to stop, right? And then DOTD pulls up on his ass and is like, hey, where's your logbook? You know? Could you imagine being 30,000 feet in the air and like DOTD pulling up on you being like, boop, boop, hey, how long you been flying? You've been flying for 3 hours over your time. Land that mother, That's crazy.
But yeah, that's how it works.
But that's the thing, dude. It's like, there are things in life you just can't control. And it is inevitable. It doesn't matter. And I guess what I'm trying to say is even though there are things you can't control, don't get down on yourself if you get into a public forum or something and you have a bunch of negative people or haters or whatever.
That is the downside to the internet, because they can't physically see you and speak to you. They will talk to you in a different way.
Yeah. But that's not to say that there aren't people out there who are willing to help.
Yes.
Guidance, man. Guidance. Even if you know that this person is your worst enemy in the world or whatever, just guide them. Because at the end of the day, let me be honest again. At the end of the day, every single person on this earth is either going to end up in the dirt or in some canister on somebody's mantle.
Yep. We were all born to die.
Exactly. So, I mean, the big thing is just do what you do, be happy with your life, and just don't let the negative things affect you. Like I said, there's things you can't control. And if it upsets you that bad and you want to have an opinion about it, that's what the internet was created for. That is why social media is there. Go have your opinion about it.
Or go to Twitter. Nobody actually reads Twitter.
That's what I'm saying. Who even uses Twitter? I mean,
I do for LSU recruiting. I follow all LSU sports recruiting on there.
Yeah, I get on Twitter here and there, but it's mostly just to see
or to see what Activision or Raven has done with Black Ops.
That's crap. But no, like when events happen or whatever, like the tragedies that just happened during New Year's and everything, man, I'm not gonna lie, like Reddit and Twitter, that's the places to go for news. You can't watch the news.
I think that's something else that has spawned from the lockdowns. We can no longer just watch the news for the news.
Yep.
We have to rely on social media to get firsthand information.
Yeah. I mean, you really do. You can't trust anybody. You can't trust the news. You can't trust the government. You can't trust anybody.
You definitely can't trust government.
So you got to just go to Twitter or Reddit or wherever and find out the news. I'm not saying it's the best form of news. I am not sitting here broadcasting to the world that, you should trust everything you see on Reddit or Twitter. But I'm just saying that it is good sources of information, better sources of information than you're going to get from CNN, Fox.
I don't know how people sit there and watch that all day.
The only thing I watch is the Weather Channel. I love me some Jim Cantor.
Bro, that dude's he was in that bad part of that snowstorm.
Yeah, Winter Storm Blair.
Thunder snow.
What the hell? 7 times.
Thunder snow. Imagine.
Could you imagine if AC/DC, instead of doing Thunderstruck, they did Thunder Snow?
Thunder snow. Down.
Yeah.
That sounds just as badass.
I'm saying. And then they had legit Thunder Snow going on. That'd be crazy.
That would be a great music video. You need to re-download that AI music app you have.
Oh, dude, that thing was... That's another thing, man. AI, that's what I'm saying. Like, whether it's businesses fall off or you could teach a business to run itself, there's so many apps and things out there.
Man, just like that app that, have you seen what Matt's been doing up in 313?
Exactly. He's basically running his business.
Yes, he has an AI app that he has created that will actually hold a conversation with you about booking a service.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to get my 2016 Chevy Cruze tinted. Okay, that's awesome. What windows what kind of things were you wanting to do? And it listens for their response. And then it says, okay, boom, it would be this from this film, this and that film, this and that film. Here's some other options you can look at as well. And then it'll send them, if they want to book, it'll give them a booking link. And boom.
Yeah. So it's essentially like whenever you get on any website, it's 2025 now, which is absolutely crazy to say.
Right.
But it's 2025 now, and any website you get on, I don't care what website it is, if you always look to either the left or right-hand corner, there's the little chat inbox, and it's always a virtual assistant.
Not here, though. We actually are real people that answer
100%.
that.
If you go to the inbox button at the bottom, it is one of us replying to you.
It's actually automated. Usually me or Blake sometimes, but yes, that is real people. That is our sales staff that is answering you.
We don't have a virtual assistant yet. The only virtual assistant we have is the one on Facebook that says, "Thank you for contacting GeoShow Window Films."
Well, we have the same thing that if they want to do like a track their order, they say track my order, and it says, okay, enter
The
order
simple
number.
stuff. Yeah. But
But
basically,
other than that, it is we are real humans. These are
thing is
physical
the same.
bodies.
Yeah. And that's basically what it is. You know, it's just a virtual assistant that you just program to just do more with the information. But the scariest one I seen on Facebook 2 days ago, and obviously things you see on Facebook, once you see them once, you see them 50,000 times.
Yeah.
But the scariest one, and this should scare people like you and Blake and Caleb and me and Vanessa and myself and everything, not necessarily business owners, but it should scare like sales representatives and everything, because what this app does is it's an AI phone call conversation specialist. So what it is say you get an incoming phone call, the AI answers the phone call and speaks to the person. So like if somebody called in and said, hey, I want to schedule an appointment or whatever, the AI talks to them like it's an actual person on the phone, gets all their information, sets a booking, does whatever, spits out information and everything, and then ends the phone call. It's crazy.
I could see where that would be useful sometimes.
I could see it in like a receptionist style setting.
Yes.
As like a first phone call interaction or something, or answering
I don't know if
small
I don't know if
questions.
I could see a time where that's gonna, like in our industry, I could see it helping someone needs to place an order over the phone. Easy,
Yeah.
we can knock that out.
Yeah.
Tracking my package. Okay, it can probably use the internet to search a tracking number and read the information that's given.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if it's going to be able to give you like that, like just that personal understanding. Like for instance, someone will ask me a question about flat glass.
Okay.
And I'll speak it like I just got done doing it an hour beforehand.
Okay.
Man, I just went through that, you know?
Yeah.
And this is how I worked through that problem. And they're like, man, that's awesome. I don't know if it'll ever be able to get to like real life experience.
No.
But
I mean,
definitely for like order taking and
say
simple
no.
task.
I say no. But then again, I have to stop myself and think that how fast technology is moving. There may be a time where it really sounds like you're talking to somebody. Let me tell you, I went to McDonald's the other day, and first off, anybody who says anything negative in the comments, whatever. But
the double filet o fish smacks.
I'm a double fish fillet eating dude. So we went to McDonald's the other day, and I don't know if this is in every McDonald's or what, but the two that I've been to in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, whenever you first get up to the little order thing, there's an automated voice that pops up, and it's like, hi, are you going to be using our mobile app today or whatever? And I always think that it's a real person. And
That
it
ain't
gets
a real
me
person?
No, that's not a real person.
What?
No, because yesterday, or the day that we went to McDonald's, it said, hi, are you going to be using our mobile app today? And I was like, oh, no, ma'am. And it was like, hey, what can I get you what can I get for you today? And I was like, whoa, what happened to what was the other chick? He was like, oh, it's an automated message.
No shit.
Yeah, for real.
Huh. I thought that was a person the whole time.
That thing gets me every time. Every time. I was like, what? So, like I said, I can't say no because who knows? In the future, there might be somebody that sounds so realistic and can have a personal conversation that it's just crazy. But I'll find that app and I'll link it below this video and everything when it drops. Which today is Tuesday. We always pre-record these, so it'll be Friday when all of y'all see it. But yeah, I'll link it down below and everything. It seems pretty cool. I would say for anybody in our industry, it would be cool if you don't want to get something like Matt's app or anything like that. It would be a way, like if you're a one-man band and you're getting a shit ton of phone calls every day.
Javon, I'm calling you out with this.
Not saying any names or pointing any elbows.
Yeah,
but
not saying to pointing the elbows at Javon, but we talk about this all the time.
Dylan is. But yeah, I would say a one-man band type of operation. I think an app like that would be cool.
Absolutely.
So that way you're not tied up on the phone all the time.
I'm not trying to tell them that they shouldn't hire somebody if it's necessary, but Imagine if you had
Yeah.
a virtual receptionist to take care of all that stuff for you.
Yeah, because I mean, if it is getting to that point where it is necessary to hire somebody else, then man, you might want to explore some options. And I would say that the AI phone call receptionist thing, I don't think that'd be a bad idea, especially if you're in the middle of a tent job and your phone is just blowing. Not gonna lie, that's money that you're missing right there.
Yep.
That you could put on your books. And you don't want to be you don't want to be that guy with a notepad and a pen and your phone in this hand and your squeegee in this hand. And you're like, oh, yeah, what you got? A 2012 Jeep Cherokee? Oh, yeah, okay. You know, and then next thing you know, you forget about that notebook or something. And that dude's coming back next Tuesday and he's like, hey, I'm here to get my Jeep tenant. And you're like, what are you talking about? What?
It's crazy. So I've seen that firsthand. I went and hung out with Macy and Skylar up at Sun Solutions Window Tinting in Delhi, Louisiana.
Yeah.
They are old school. They have a log book, like a big log book. And Macy still writes every single person by hand in her log book. And I'm like, girl.
Holy shit.
It's 2024. Not 2025. Like, it's 2024. Like, you have all this technology at your hands.
Yeah.
You can still talk to him on the phone, but log it so that it'll send you reminders, you know?
Yeah, something a little different.
But it works for him.
Hey, if it works, it works. You can't be mad at what works, you know? And, I mean, that's kind of like, it's crazy to think, talking about how far everything has come, whenever you say, you know, that works for them and all that stuff, once you find something that works, you don't really change it. But I will say, one cool thing that I've seen, and I never knew this story. Most people on here, I don't, you know, it might be a story that everybody knows. It might be a story that when I tell it, they're like, holy shit, I never knew that. But so Michelin tires, right? Mm-hmm. Like actual Michelin rubber tires on a vehicle.
Great tires.
So in the 1900s, I want to say like 1920, 1930 or something, whenever the company came about, nobody wanted tires. Like, they didn't want to buy tires. So what Michelin did is they made a guidebook around Britain or wherever Michelin was created. Mm-hmm. And the guidebook basically told them, like, you would get a guidebook and it said, you know, Michelin's guide to whatever. And that guidebook would guide you to the nearest gas stations, to good restaurants and all that stuff. And then from people having to travel to all these restaurants and gas stations and they would need tires. And then from them buying tires and everything and visiting all these restaurants, Michelin decided, let's take it a step further. So Michelin made their Michelin star program, which I know you've heard about that.
I have.
So that's the same people that made Michelin tires. They made the Michelin star system to where when they would go to a restaurant that was in their guidebook, they would rate it 1 star, 2 star, or 3 star. And the ratings were basically what the restaurant survived off of. So if Michelin came into your restaurant,
wow.
Oh yeah, 100%. So if Michelin came into your restaurant and said, man, this food it's good, but it's not the best, you'd get 1 Michelin star. And nowadays, dude, if you have 1 Michelin star, it's almost like a 6-month waiting period just to get in that restaurant.
Yeah, that's an elite level restaurant.
Yeah. And if you lose that star, you might as well just shut your business down.
Huh.
But what's crazy and what to take away from that story is say you have a business and it's not really, like, whatever your model isn't really working. The most out of the box stuff might be the solution. You always have to think outside the box, because if it wouldn't have been for them making that guide and making them, you know, drive all around and everything, they probably never would have sold a tire. We probably never would have Michelin tires today.
That's wild.
It's crazy. It's a great story. I love finding little articles and stuff like that because it makes me think about my job. And if I ever back myself into a corner and I don't really know which direction I want to go with something, whether it be a simple Facebook post or what I want to do or the next big thing I want
Yeah,
to do.
golly, just imagine 5 years ago. Did you see yourself sitting in your own podcast room?
No, not at all. I figured I was still going to be in the plants. I was still going to be outside.
I mean, I was running a restaurant.
Yeah.
You know?
Let me tell you what I did the other day, though, because right now I know it's colder up north and everything. But you got to think, us in Louisiana are not used to this cold weather. And it was
31 degrees when I woke up this morning.
30 degrees. It was 28 when I let my dog out to use the bathroom. I think his pee was coming out as icicles. It was so cold. I felt bad for him. But, you know, it was so cold this morning, and I'm not really used to it and everything. So on my way to work, I Snapchatted every single one of my buddies that works in the plants.
Oh, no.
And I was like, on my way to my office job, on my way to my heater.
Oh.
Did I feel bad? No.
Not
a
chance.
No remorse. No remorse. I don't want to work outside ever again. Just think about it. Even my neck, like, God forbid, something ever happens to me here. Guess where I'm going?
To find another inside job?
To find another inside job. You right. Not for hire, by the way. I am not for hire. This beautiful face, staying right here. But, God forbid something ever happens, I'm going to find me another office job.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
I don't care if I got to flip through paper all day. I'm going to sit in a heater somewhere.
Yeah, I'm not going outside.
Nah, not for me.
Them office jobs spoil you.
They do,
You get the chair and the desk. And then you get to, like, put shit in your desk. And it's
That's
like
the coolest
it's like you're
part.
home away from home.
That is the coolest part about having an office job. You get drawers. It's like extra pockets. Okay, if any women watch this, you probably won't understand where I'm going with any of this, but dudes love pockets.
Cargo shorts are elite.
I'll never wear cargo shorts, but
You're a dad. You're going to wear them sooner than later.
sooner or later, I might have to throw a pair on. But I'm just saying, like, we love pockets. If we ever do, like, a everyday carry drop of everything, dude, we got car keys, knives. If I could put my pistol in my pants, I would. I'd put it in my pocket, cigarettes, vape, wallet, whatever, random coins and shit we found throughout the day. A pen out of nowhere.
A receipt from
Just
who knows when.
So it's like having drawers is like awesome pockets. There's
And
so
then
much
you get to
random
do
shit in my
stuff like
drawers.
me and you both have a pretty decent Hot Wheels collection going. So we've got walls and walls of Hot Wheels and displays set up.
Yeah, I'm not going to give them too much information, but this podcast room might look a little different in a couple months. Might be a little different in a couple months. But there should be some cool, because I'm just like any other car guy or car girl. You know, my 4-year-old daughter has Hot Wheels. I gave her one the other night. But I love Hot Wheels and stuff. I've always been a car guy. I just love looking at models and everything. I mean, it doesn't even have to be a car. It could be a boat. I just like little models. I used to put together with my grandfather all the little plastic models and everything. We did like a 57 Bel Air. We did a fastback Mustang one time. We did a NASA space shuttle and everything. So that's just a cool little hobby that I like. I just like collecting those things. But what's cool about it too is if your buddies know that you like doing that stuff, you'll always get one.
Yep.
Doesn't matter where they're at. They're like, oh, I bet Chase would like that. And then I get some. So if anybody out there wants to just shoot me or Dylan some Hot Wheels or anything, some cool model cars or Hot Wheels or anything that you see in your areas that you might not think we got down here, we're not opposed to it.
I had to go. So I was in Disney World with my wife last week, and there's a shopping park called Disney Springs.
Yeah.
And they have a Coca-Cola store. Has the best Diet Coke, by the way. Their 20-ounce bottles are the crispiest, coldest there are.
Dang.
Anywhere. Better than any Wawa, Racetrack, Hubu, whatever. I don't even know what all the names of these gas stations are.
Hubu.
But
Hubu, 7-Eleven.
There's a special Coca-Cola collection of diecast cars, and I've never seen anything but the Fanta pickup truck. They had a Fanta 69 Firebird. Oh, she pretty. Oof. I bought it too.
I got the Coca-Cola. It's the one that I think, I don't know if it's a Walmart exclusive or whatever, but they do. I see them every year. It's the big M2 models, and it's like the Santa on the paper, and it's got the Coca-Cola.
So that's a Walmart exclusive. Okay. So I've seen those, but I've never been able to get a hold of. This is the one in the tall plastic case.
See.
So yeah, so I had to buy it. So now I have it.
When we went to SEMA, so this would be 2 years ago now for me. It's crazy saying that, dude. It's
well, you're talking about M2?
But yeah.
Yeah, they were there. I wanted to buy everything.
Me too.
But they're like, sorry, you can't purchase here. You have to order.
Yeah. My fiance had to pull me away from that booth. Dude, as soon as we turned, so it was my first time going to SEMA, and I knew it was big, but I didn't know that it would have as many twists and turns as it did. Mm-hmm. So, like, if you
would
cut
think
a
it
corner,
would just be row, 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 row.
Yeah, essentially.
But it's like row, row, turn, row.
Yeah, there's like
You
booths and
can get
booths,
lost in there.
you know. So when I cut the corner and I started seeing like all the old like shop signs and Phillips 66 and Conoco and stuff like that, I was like, "Oh yeah, dude, I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble." And my fiance was like, "No, we gotta get away from here. Come on, we just want to spend some money, please."
No, you have a mortgage to pay.
Exactly. Don't need this money. Nah, but yeah, it's fun. I like having little hobbies and everything. So it's cool to have everything on display for everybody to see. The only bad part is obviously none of you have ever, well, they've seen it in videos and stuff, but if you're here in person, the layout of the production room up here at HQ is kind of weird. So I'm ducked off in the back. So when you walk in,
why isn't John back here?
I don't know.
He should be back here where nobody can see him.
The bad part is, and I don't even know if it's picking up on camera right now. I have a very, very good editor that I always send my podcast clips to. Shout out to Major Media over there in Denham Springs. But behind me, like literally behind
Right
this
behind
wall,
that wall.
This is like barely half-inch drywall right here. But right behind this wall is the warehouse. And there's music blaring behind our ears right now. And I can't tell if it's coming through, you know, the speakers or anything.
I haven't heard it.
Well, these are really good microphones and stuff. But like I said, I have a very good editor, so he can obviously take out the background noise. But if John was back here, like you can even hear the music over by his desk. It's just worse over here just because of this wall.
It's echoed into this wall.
It's flowing. So obviously our main support beam literally right over our head, which makes the camera angle kind of look weird because it's angled up, but it all goes to a viewpoint. But if you looked behind this wall from me, you could literally see daylight. Like I could stick my hand back there. So yeah, it's just like I said before, you know, I don't want to give away too much, but this will all look kind of different here in the future. But as I said, when you walk in here, the floor that we're sitting on is actually like 4 inches lower than the other side. Yeah. So it drops down, which when you walk in, all my Hot Wheels are kind of on my desk I have 2 desks in here and they're all on the wall. But if I'm sitting in my chair and you walk in, I'm 4 inches lower than you. So you can't really see everything that I have on display. I mean, Vanessa bought me a super cool Ferrari lanyard, which I don't even want to know how much that cost.
I picked that out, by the way.
Well, it's a Ferrari product, like a legit Ferrari lanyard. I mean, most people would be like, "Oh, it's just a Ferrari lanyard," but like, it's got a Ferrari lanyard. You know what I'm saying?
It's not just a Ferrari lanyard.
So
it's a Ferrari lanyard.
But what I'm saying is, I have so much stuff on display back here, but 9 times out of 10, you either don't see it or you can't pay attention to it just because it's not in eyesight of you.
I don't know if you got to see this at SEMA 2 years ago. Speaking of Ferrari, actually, this has nothing to do with Ferrari. In the what's that popular? Not the chemical guys, but the car washing stuff. Not McGuire's.
You talking about Adams?
Adams,
No,
not
polishes?
Adams.
Shoot, there's only Adams chemical guys. You got grits.
No, It's like a big. It's like the Walmart of.
The Walmart would be Chemical Guys.
No, Chemical Guys is new. These people have been around a lot longer. Anyway, you can always get their stuff in like a 5-gallon bucket at Christmas.
McGuire's?
Is it McGuire's? I don't think
You talking
so.
about with the yellow letters? McGuire's?
No, it's not McGuire's. Anyway,
Oh my gosh! If
Anyway,
anybody
they-
wants to comment and say what
they
it
had
is,
they had a booth at SEMA this year, and they had the Red Bull Formula One car. Actually, they had Max Verstappen's Formula One car in their booth.
well, that'd be easy to
That
find
thing
what company
is
it is.
gigantic,
The F1 car?
huge.
I've never seen one in person, so
It's as big as my Suburban.
holy shit!
Yeah, they're like 20. They're like 20 feet long.
Could you imagine the Suburban with an IndyCar motor in it?
That'd be great.
That'd be crazy.
Did you see the TikTok I sent you last night of that John Deere lawnmower?
Oh, yeah.
that had the 1,000cc motor swapped into it.
That was nuts, dude. I've always wanted to do something like that, like take a lawnmower and build like a racing lawnmower with
I
it.
mean, I've got a 46-inch Craftsman sitting in my shed at home that we could.
We'll put a 212 Predator motor from Harbor Freight in it. Yoink it up with some performance parts.
It sits a little too high right now. We'd have to drop her down.
Oh, we'll drop her down. We'll drop her down for sure.
Put on some go-kart tires.
Yeah, no, I'm
Some
ready.
of them slicks.
Jesus Christ. It'll be like Bobby Boucher riding around. I did something to your lawnmower. Burn, burn. No, it's fun though. I'm excited for this year.
Oh, there's so much stuff to do this year.
There is, but we plan on I don't know about you, but I plan on doing so much traveling, not just with trade shows, but like we want to hit some car shows here and there, like big car shows. They got that show Scraping the Coast. You got Cruising the Coast. They got that one in Texas, like Lone Star Throwdown or whatever. But I mean, that's what we're gonna do with the Tacoma. It's basically gonna be like a show thing, showcasing our products, all that stuff. We're gonna get a trailer to pull behind it, put a plotter inside. If anybody wants to, like, say we're at an industry show or something, and somebody wants to try out our PPF, or somebody wants to feel our window film or anything like that, like poof, just pop open the trailer and there everything is. So I mean, that's the plan. We're gonna document everything. We're gonna vlog it. We're gonna put it on YouTube videos, and that's the main reason why we want more people to enjoy this type of content and give us feedback on what type of content that you guys want to see, is because,
Yeah, because there's content coming.
Oh yeah, 100%.
We're going to shove content down your throats.
Exactly. So if people want to see, if you want to see mods all the way down to like us installing wiper blades or something like that, or, like John did 3D printed center caps for the Tacoma.
God, they look so good too.
But that's why, if you guys are already following the YouTube channel, or even if you're not, go ahead and, subscribe to it so that way you can follow along. And then we always take input, so if you guys comment on one of the videos and you say, man, I love this style of content. Like I like watching, an hour of y'all just sitting in the shop, laying PPF down, or, doing whatever, or putting a roof rack on or anything like that. Like, please let us know. And, we're trying to grow the YouTube and stuff, because the big plan, and I don't know if you know this or yet or not, but the big plan is to grow the following on the podcast and YouTube, and of course all of our other socials. But so that way, hopefully for SEMA and stuff, whenever whether we do a booth or whether we go or whatever the plan may be, we could set up and do a podcast, while we're there. Even at some of these other shows and stuff, we can have a podcast there. So that's why we're trying to grow the brand and grow the name.
Oh, that sure would be fun.
Oh, that's what I'm saying, dude. Like,
because I know we had talked about trying to do it the last couple of shows we did, and it just
never worked out.
work.
It didn't plan out right. We were gonna do one at the rental that we had during WFR in Chattanooga, but some of us were either playing ping pong or we were just doing our own things, and nobody was really in the mindset to want to sit down and stuff. But I think it was also that we didn't really have that big of a community and that big of a following yet and everything. And hopefully in 2025, we start growing this community and we start building it up, because I know a lot of the guys that may watch this, or girls that may watch this and everything. For me, when I get to sit down and watch somebody, that's kind of like us playing video games,
Yeah.
To some people, like, this is their release. they want to sit down and watch, YouTube. They want to sit down and listen to a podcast, or even drive in their car, listen to a podcast, listen to people talk. So
that's what I did Sunday afternoon. I watched the last 2 episodes of DDE because I missed them.
Yeah, exactly. But that's why we need that community engagement and everything. And the more people that we have, following and being active and all that stuff, the more will give us, because we'll read the comments. We'll look at what everybody's saying. We'll do the polls. We'll see what you guys want to see, and that's what we're going to follow. And the more that you get involved with us, the more we'll get involved with you. And that's the way that everything should work. So like I said, whatever comments you guys have for us, or, if you want to see more, or if you want, different things on the podcast, different topics, different things to talk about or whatever, definitely drop a comment and say, hey man, on the next episode, could you guys talk about, XYZ or whatever, or could we bring up this, or, even special guests, like anybody that you want to see on, here talking with us or anything, definitely link us up with them, or shoot us a comment, or shoot us a DM or anything, and say, oh, I'd love to see such and such on. I want to see, different opinions and everything, because when it comes to stuff like this, so my personality type, I don't know if anybody's ever heard of like the Myers-Briggs test or anything. It's basically a personality test. It tells you.
Yep, I took that recently.
Yeah. So it tells you what your personality type is, whether it be, somebody who's I can't remember every single one, but it's like a judge / whatever or anything. All I know is mine. So mine is a debater.
Yeah.
Which
there's no doubt about that.
Ain't nobody gonna test that one. But it's cool because I can, and I've always been like this my whole life. But if you have a conversation you want to start, I can continue that conversation, but I will never make it. I'll never make it hostile or go my way or anything unless I want to. Like, obviously I can do that if I wanted to, but it's what makes great conversation. So if you have somebody who's maybe not a debater, archetype or anything, they're going to sit here and this will be their entire podcast, or this will be their entire conversation with somebody right here. This will be it. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. And they can't find a conversation. Sometimes you just got to pull it out of nowhere. It's not always going to be there.
Nope.
It's hard for me too. There's a lot of times where most of the time when my guest is talking or something, that's when I'll start thinking about either playing off of what you had already spoken about or what you are currently speaking about, or I'm trying to
go in kind of a different direction.
Yeah, whether I want to lead the conversation in a different direction or whether I want to talk about something else. But most of the time, when people pre-script something, they already know what they want to talk about. I literally go into these things having no topic, no nothing.
We just kind of see where it takes us.
We do. We just sit here and we see where it takes us. Now, today, obviously, I had one thing I wanted to talk about, which was the forefront of my mind of the Michelin story, just because I thought that was something super cool that I read about. But other than that, basically, it's just coming in here and shooting the shit and talking. And that's exactly why I want more people to follow the platform and everything, because the biggest upside that I would say we have is that we are just humans. We're not big names. We're not, very well-known people or anything. I know Dylan has his diehard fans and stuff, but that's what I'm saying. We just get on here and we just shoot the shit because we're just human beings. And it's so fun. It is very fun. And I hope to continue the fun. Like I said, I want to do something big. I want to do the esports thing like we talked about in the very beginning. I think that is super cool.
Boy, that'd be cool. A Saturday night.
Search and destroy. Just get in there. If we have 32 people shoot us messages or anything, I will make it my priority to create a private match and go through everything, and we'll figure some stuff out or whatever. But I think that'd be cool. But that's what I'm saying. As much feedback as people can give us, the better. Not only will it better the podcast and the YouTube videos and all that, but it'll just make it more interesting for them, because I know for a fact that if I comment on a YouTube video and even somebody replies to my comment it makes me feel like on top of the world. So I know if somebody had sent us a comment or a DM or something, and then that next week's episode or even the week after's episode, the topic might have been something they were talking about. Oh, dude, they'd feel overjoyed. And that's what I want to give, is that feeling back to somebody else of feeling like you're on top of the world and like you're thought about. So that's my main takeaway from this. But other than that, I mean, it has been very fun. I always enjoy talking to you. We always cut up.
And you're still going to do it for a few more hours.
Yeah.
Because we still got a few more hours in the day.
It's 2:45 over here in Louisiana.
And that means I still have 3.5 hours until we start bowling.
Big bowling guy.
Because I'm not going home tonight, because it don't make no sense to drive an hour home just to turn around and come all the way back to Baton Rouge to the bowl league.
Yeah, that is very true. That's too much driving around. I don't do all that. I'm going home, make some chicken nuggets, probably fall asleep.
My truck goes from my driveway to this parking lot and back to my driveway.
Yeah, tonight's stream.
I'll kick the Twitch on while we're bowling league.
Yeah, and if anybody wants to follow us on Twitch, it's Loupe TV LXXPY TV on Twitch. And whenever we play video games and everything, that's what we stream on. And you can watch us. We're always cutting up funny, just like the podcast. It's hilarious.
Is tonight going back to S&D, or are y'all going to be on Minecraft again tonight?
Probably S&D. Minecraft is fun, but you just can't get off Minecraft. That's the problem with Minecraft.
See, I never started playing it, so like you just play and you just can't stop.
No, 100%.
Oh,
it's literally blocks. It's like playing with Legos, but then once you start playing,
I was watching y'all play the other night, and I was like, "There's like no objective. You're just in it."
Well, technically there is an objective, but you kind of have to work to it. You're supposed to like go into the end and defeat the Ender Dragon and and then you beat the game. But
you know what sounds better than that?
Just build shit.
A 6v6 S&D.
That does sound a lot better, but I'm telling you, Minecraft is still fun. Minecraft is still fun.
I'll have to take your word for it.
Well, it's been real and it's been fun, but it ain't been real fun. No, I'm just kidding.
No, it has been real fun.
It has been real fun. It's always been real fun. We'll kick off another one next Tuesday. We'll talk to these guys some more. Hopefully we get some comments and everything and get some rebuttal. And
we might have some pretty fun things lined up over the next few weeks that people might need to.
Yeah. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned on that. Keep your ears perked up.
Yeah, we won't drop any details right now. But just know you need to stay tuned. And we will see you